If you've ever wanted to know how these macrame flowers are made, this is the tutorial for you. I've added a ring at the top to hang it on the wall, but you can just as easily skip that step if you're using it for something else. By the way, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials just like this. Feel free to pause the video here to read the materials list, or you can find them in the description below. You can also find this cord in over 20 colors in my shop. Let's get started! First, cut 5 strings to 50-inch lengths. Pick up one string and tie a simple overhand knot in the center. Place the string down, folded in half, with the knot in the center and the loose ends pointing towards you. If you have a cork board, you can pin it into place right where the knot is. Pick up a second string and place it horizontally underneath the left side of the first string. Now use the horizontal string to tie one vertical clove hitch knot around the first string. Once the knot is tied, slide it up directly beneath the top knot. Then place the other side of the horizontal string underneath that first string. Use it to tie another vertical clove hitch knot. Pick up another string to add next. As you can see, this time I placed the string horizontally underneath both vertical strings to start with, as I found this way a little bit easier. Use the same method to tie 2 new vertical clove hitch knots directly underneath the first. Continue until you have added all 4 strings. Once all 4 strings have been attached, join the 2 vertical strings at the bottom with a clove hitch knot. Working from the right side, take the string at the top, direct it towards you parallel to the previous rows of knots. You'll use this as a lead cord for a new row of 4 vertical clove hitch knots. Repeat on the left side. Join the 2 lead cords together at the bottom with another clove hitch knot. Start a new row by again pulling the top string on the left towards you. Tie your first clove hitch knot as usual. This time, join both cords together before tying the next knot. The next clove hitch will be tied over both cords instead of just that one lead cord. Each new knot for this row will be tied over all previous cords instead of just the one lead cord. Repeat this method on the other side. That's one finished petal. Next, create 3 more so you have a total of 4 petals. For the 5th petal, start with the ring and cut the same lengths of string as you did for the other petals, but attach the first string to the hoop by using a reverse lark's head knot. Then you can place it down on your workstation and pin it into place if you are working with a corkboard. The rest of the process is the same as it was for the rest of the petals, so you can continue on and create the 5th petal. Next, we'll make some smaller inner petals. Cut 4 strings to 50 inches. I'm also using a slightly different shade to add a little more dimension to my flower. Start the petal the same way by tying an overhead knot in the center of the first string and pinning the knot in place. For the inner petals, we will only use 4 strings instead of 5 total. This shortens the length of each petal. In addition, these petals will only have 4 rows of clove hitch knots instead of 6, which will also make them appear narrower. Create 4 inner petals total. Now I'm using a 3rd color for the center portion of the flower. This part's easy, just cut 5 strings to 25-inch lengths and tie overhand knots toward one end of the string, then using your fingers to sort of ruffle up the fringe. Once you've prepared the center strings, bundle them all up together. Then start picking up the innermost petals and one at a time arrange them around the center strings. Then start adding the larger petals around the outside while keeping a firm grip around the base to keep everything together. It doesn't have to look perfect at this point. We are going to be arranging them more once everything is secured together. Cut one final string to 30 inches and use it to tie a gathering knot around the base of the flower. Cut the top string from the gathering knot. Once the gathering knot is secure, go through the strings hanging at the bottom and one by one gently pull them down to tighten them. Once you've tightened one string, set it aside so you don't keep on going back to the same string. You're going to work your way around all of the strings for the outer petals, then move towards the inner petals and finally to the innermost center strings. You can trim the hanging strings as desired, and now your project is ready to hang on the wall. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials released every week. Thanks for watching!